colleges like Bellingham and Imperial College. So TAG's office is now down here at the TDC, which is the short name for Technology Development Center. And my role is not working full-time at the TDC, but we certainly will help in being a liaison with industry and help provide information to companies who are interested in partnership opportunities for individual tours and answer other questions. We know a lot about research expertise of faculty, so if you have any questions as a follow-up to this tour, please contact myself or any of the tour participants, of course. So with that, I will turn over to Dodd, and you can give an update on the background of the Technology Development Center.
Hi, I'm Dodd Snodgrass, and I'm with the port. And so a little background on how we got here is about 4 years ago, the state created a program through Governor Gregoire's initiative called Innovation Partnership Zones. And it's a statewide competition. They were going to designate certain geographic areas around the state that had to have certain ingredients. One was research capacity, workforce development programs or focus, and developing companies and economic opportunity for the future. So it had to be a geographic area. So a number of areas of the state competed, and they designated about 13 sites. And they have different cluster focuses. Some are in wine country in Walla Walla. There's biotech down in Bothell. Spokane is healthcare. And our approach up here was, for those who've been in the community for a while, in the waterfront redevelopment, we had about 200 acres down here. We're getting fairly ambitious in the planning effort. We had the opportunity to bring NOAA to the community and move pretty aggressively in a pretty robust real estate environment. And we want to maintain a focus on marine trade. So this area is designated sort of as a marine trades focus. So we submitted an application to look at that opportunity. And coincidentally, at the same time, there was a process with Western looking at campus expansion to the waterfront for some of their programs, and in particular some of the ideas coming out of the College of Sciences and Technology Innovation Center. And so yeah, this is a great opportunity to jumpstart some presence on the waterfront, to have a facility to help Western bring some expertise, faculty, create an equipment environment to do some of the things we're doing on campus here in a facility that's accessible to the public. At the same time, our partners at Bellingham Technical College, workforce expertise, have programs that they need more access to. And so we were able to secure $1 million grant from the state and some little bit of federal money and construct this facility as sort of to jumpstart the innovation partnership zone idea. So it's fairly unique that we were able to create a facility. The port's basically the landlord and manage the program. We have two tenants basically that are in this facility working together. So that was sort of the genesis of the idea. In the meantime, the waterfront project is a little bit slower, changing focus a little bit. It'll be a matter of time before we're actually able to recruit, develop, and bring companies down here. But the long-term plan is some of the work that can be done here is going to aid economic development of the waterfront. So that's kind of how it started. And I'm going to turn it over now to Professor Mark Bissell, and he's going to give an overview on the western side of it.
As Dodd said, my name is Mark Bissell. I'm a chemistry professor at Western, but I also coordinate our activities in the TDC, and in that role I work with Harlan Norman, the Dean of the College of Science and Technology. As you tour through the building, this area over here is the western section, and there's also a mezzanine above here, and you're going to learn about 4 projects, 3 which are current projects in the TDC. One is company-driven, and that's Jeremiah Welch with New Market Design Lab. Jeremiah is a Western graduate, and he involves current Western students in his projects. The other 2, one will be the most visible, and that's the Hybrid Bus project, which is a faculty-driven project, but it has local industry partners. And then the third one is kind of moving out now, and that's the biomethane fuel project that's led by Eric Leonard of the Vehicle Research Institute. And that also has local partners. And then the final one is a potential project. It's from the Advanced Materials Center up at Western, and they have a grant to develop solar concentrators, which you'll see a nice demonstration of And that's a project which has clear commercial opportunities. And we're looking at some grant opportunities to raise some grant funds to test some of their prototypes here at the TDC. So you'll learn about that. What I want to take just a couple of minutes to talk to you about is a website for Western's activities in the TDC, which we're very close to making public. We're not quite there yet, but I just want to show you a little bit about it. It'll provide some, as the usual, just background information. But I want to go particularly to the for industry page, because I think that'll be of greatest interest to those of you who are here. One of the important things we want is to nurture and develop private sector partnerships with the university, with faculty and students, so that the students can gain experience, faculty can also work on some real hands-on, real-world problems and help companies become more competitive by doing proof of concept, prototype development, as well as more fundamental R&D that might support a future project. So when we go public with this, you'll be able to surf around and look at a number of different things. What are the facilities we have? And we show some of our equipment that we have here. And you'll see a quick demonstration of our CNC router. And then there are a number of other things that you'll see as you wander around the facility. Just some basic machining equipment, annealing oven. We have a dust collection system so that we can work with materials that where the students or faculty or company personnel are working here. We're going to do all we can to collect all the airborne particulates so we don't get any exposure to people. And then we also have a fume hood. We've had a couple of small companies through recently that have that are working in the area of biodiesel production. And with one of those companies, we submitted a grant proposal in the SBIR project where they're interested in looking at biodiesels of different chemical composition and how that affects emissions. This is one of the problems with biodiesel is you get increased emissions of what are called the NOx gases, which are pollutants. So they're interested in seeing can they formulate biodiesel so that we limit some of the pollutants. So that's just some of the equipment we have. I think what I just want to close with is that down further in this core industry page, we have a frequently asked questions section which talks about how does a project get considered for the TDC? What will it cost? Well, we have a couple of avenues. We have very short-term projects where we can get those approved within about a week or so, and then we have longer-term projects which are actually going to take up some of the floor space. It takes a little longer, about a month or so, to get those projects set up. But when this goes public, we'll encourage you all to take a look at that. And then this is why we're not quite ready to release the website, is we're developing a project intake system where if you've got an idea for some sort of project and you think you could work with faculty and students to develop your project, you'll be able to enter some information about your company and then just a very short description of your project. And then when you send that, it'll come to me and we'll start the screening process to see if we have the expertise and students to work with you on your project. And this is just one of the mechanisms by which we want to get people involved in TDC. So we'll be letting you know shortly when this is public, and we'll have links probably on the Port webpage for the TDC and then also the College of Sciences and Technology website at Western. So, Anna, are we ready for the tour?
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide you just straight to the middle, and then we're going to do the tour reversed. One group go first, and kind of reverse the order. And the group leaders will be, Dawn, do you want to take this side? And I'll take this side. And after the tour, we're going to try and we're scheduled to be done by 1:15. Of course, you know, if you have to go back, you can always just skip out and leave the tour. If you want to linger after the tour and network and talk to faculty or each other, you can come back here and eat some more cookies. I think we do have cookies left. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and you take this group and go to the western side,
Okay.
and we go to the TDC side.